And good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Daytona International Speedway as we get ready for Daytona 500 qualifying. This is where we're going to determine the pole sitter and the second place driver for the front row for the Great American Race here in Season 6. This is a great day for these drivers because they're going to have an opportunity to start on the front row, and it's a great day for me too because it's my birthday! Yay!
Happy birthday celebration, party night, we feel the vibration. Lights are bright, we're feeling alright. We're dancing till the morning light.
Okay, that's enough of that. Anyway, we're getting ready here for today's Daytona 500 qualifying, and already first on the track is the guy who actually was the fastest in the Sprint Unlimited practice, and that is Aaron Williams Jr. Let's jump to him in the 24. There he is. The AARP Drive to End Hunger Chevrolet. Aaron Williams Jr. ended up starting, I believe it was like 28th position for the Sprint Unlimited, came away with an 8th place finish in that race, so he's got himself a good car here at Daytona. And I'm pretty certain this is probably the exact same setup they used in the practice session for the Sprint Unlimited, so he can try and get himself on the pole for the Great American Race. If he could get himself on the pole, it would be the second straight season that a Hendrick Motorsports driver has started on the pole position for the Daytona 500, and he's going to get a little slowed up there by his teammate, his new teammate, Tim Walsh in the 5, who for the first time in his NSRA career is outside of the Michael Waltrip Racing stables. Tim Walsh. Boy, I'm really having trouble right now. Must be happening when I get up there in age. But Tim Walsh, now with Hendrick Motorsports, we're going to have to see how he does with a Chevy team. He's been with Toyota the last 3 seasons, driving the 15 for 2 seasons and the 56 last season, in which he picked up 2 victories. There's a third Hendrick Motorsports car that they're starting to catch up to. I don't think he'll have time to be able to catch on to this Hendrick duo. And that's Cole Daly in the 88. Let's see if our Sprint Unlimited race winner has actually taken to the track yet. Kyle Sosnowski in the 22. There he is. Right behind Barney Ward, who actually finished second in the Sprint Unlimited. What irony. And whoa! Anthony McCurry, Matthew Rodriguez, quite a bit of momentum there coming up here right behind the 44 of Sean Galligan, the brand new 5th ride for Tweenix Racing. There he is. Lots of other drivers just now entering onto the racetrack. Let's take a look and see what the speed charts say right now as far as the fastest car on the racetrack. And the fastest car just topped the Jake Cole machine, and that is Ralph Mason in the 87. One of the 3 drivers for Kyotech Racing, driving the Andy Fox Late Model Series Fry's Toyota Camry here this week. So he's going to go down to the inside line of the 31. That is Danny Wells. Danny Wells in the Caterpillar paint scheme here for the Daytona 500. And just ahead of them is the 14. That is John Radigan. He's a rookie this season for Stewart-Haas Racing, and we'll see how he does. He's currently 4th fastest on the racetrack. He's bringing some pretty good speed here, is Radigan. I'm trying to remember if we've ever had a rookie pole sitter for the Daytona 500. I'm not really sure if I remember that happening, so if Radigan could get a good run here, get the pole position, I think he could be the first rookie ever to hold the pole position in the Great American Race, as Ralph Mason has now hit the 201 mile per hour mark. Remember, we saw him in the Sprint Unlimited practice hit up to 203 miles per hour, and just now Ralph Mason's been knocked off by another Brit, and that is Sean Galligan. He just now took the top spot. And look who's up there in the 4th position now. That is Sean Henley. Now Henley ended up starting the Daytona 500 last season in the 4th position because he ended up winning Gatorade Duel number 2. He also won the Sprint Unlimited that season, but he did not win it last night. He ended up finishing 10th place in that event, and he's got himself a pretty good Chevrolet right now, as all of a sudden another driver's jumped up to the top of the leaderboard, and it's a rookie. We haven't even talked about him. Henry Nova in the 18, a rookie for Joe Gibbs Racing, is now the fastest on the racetrack, and as soon as I say that, Barney Ward's now jumped up to the top spot. It's going to really shuffle around here quite a bit during this first few minutes of this practice session, as Emilio Navarrete peels off pit road, or peels off the track to go to pit road, I should say. And Nova just moved up from 6th to 5th on the speed charts, but Barney Ward is now the new leader of the fastest lap, and Barney Ward would love to start on the pole position. Well, he's in a nice pack here with Galligan, Cole Daly, and Kyle Sosnowski's right there too, our Sprint Unlimited winner. There's the 9 of Drew Austin, a rookie this season. Madison Seaver and Cole Daly just ahead, and Anthony McCurry in the 61 is in this as well. And look who just topped the speed charts. The Sprint Unlimited winner, Kyle Sosnowski. Keep in mind, Sosnowski started on the pole for the Daytona 500 last season when he drove the 48 for Hendrick Motorsports. Could he be the first ever driver to sit on the Daytona 500 pole 2 years in a row? Henry Nova just ran the fastest lap now. He's atop the leaderboard, so right now it'd be him and Kyle Sosnowski who would sit on the front row for the Great American Race. And look who's up to 3rd. Kyle Sosnowski having a great run, but his teammate there out of Penske Germain Racing, Felix Graves, he is now the 3rd fastest car on the racetrack there in the Dish Network 58 Ford. Very good run right there for that driver. He's got James Silverfox right behind him in this pack here with Alan Tanker in the 16, James McLeod, the defending Daytona 500 winner, and Charles Jackson. Right now, as it stands, top 10 at this point would hold 4 Penske Germain drivers. Kyle Sosnowski is 2nd fastest, Felix Graves 3rd fastest, then you got Tryfon Reed in the 13, he is 7th fastest, and Dylan Young in the Blue Deuce, he is 10th fastest. So I'll tell you what, this Ford team of Penske Germain is really coming into Season 6 saying, hey, you want to beat us, you got to beat our best cars, because they are really showing a lot of muscle here early on as James Silverfox, Henry Nova, and Alan Tanker were able to get around the slower Emilio Navarrete machine. A few other teams represented up inside the top 10. One of them is Roush Fenway Racing with William Duncan in the 6 car. There he is, right there behind Trent Dunham and the defending champ John Cittadino there, as well as Joshua Michaels and Tryfon Reed, who both have top 10 speeds right now. William Duncan, one of 4 Roush Fenway machines this season, and right now he's running the best out of all of them, currently the 9th fastest car on the racetrack, as Joshua Michaels is coming to the inside along with Tryfon Reed. 2 drivers from Everham Motorsports up here in the top 10, with Barney Ward 4th and Joshua Michaels in the 8th position. Amazingly enough, the only Tweenix representative right now is Sean Galligan. And remember, Tweenix Racing was the dominant team last season at Daytona when Henley won both the Sprint Unlimited and his Gatorade Duel, and James McLeod followed it up by winning the Daytona 500. Let's see where John Cittadino, the defending champ, where his lap times fall. Holy cow, he's 41st on the racetrack right now. John Cittadino and Daytona have not been the best of friends here starting off this season. Cittadino ended up not qualifying that well in the Bud Shootout practice session. Then he ended up drawing the dead last position for the Sprint Unlimited and ended up wrecking out. So Cittadino and Daytona, boy, you gotta wonder if Cittadino's gonna flash a little bit of his magic from last season here this season in the 500, because right now it is not looking like he has a good car that could win the 500. This could all be strategy, but I don't know for certain if that's the case. Let's jump back to our current pole sitter for the Daytona 500. That is Henry Nova. And man, how exciting would it be for this guy to be able to, in his first career NSRA start on the pole for the Great American Race. That would probably be a dream come true for this driver, as he is just out there logging laps now. He's not really in a big pack. He's running in the 198s, 199s now, not nearly as fast as his 203.957, nearly 204 mile per hour lap put down right there for his fastest lap. I don't know if anybody's going to be able to beat that unless they get into a super huge pack of cars. And we've got a little under 10 minutes to go here in this practice session. Let's jump back to Sean Galligan, the only representative for Tweenix Racing right now. Well, it looks like he must have made a pit stop or something, because he's all by his lonesome right now. Yeah, he did make a pit stop. His last lap was a 59.309. And you don't make those kind of laps on the racetrack unless you've got a car that is really, really bad. So he definitely made a pit stop. Somebody there diving for pit road. That might have been Nick Eggleston, the 55. But Galligan there for Tweenix Racing right now, the fastest of the Tweenix cars. And Anthony McCurry is currently the fastest of the Kyotech Racing machines. There he is. He's actually here with two other drivers who are in the top 10 in the running order right now. Barney Ward, who is fourth fastest, and Kyle Sosnowski, who, if all ended right now, would start on the outside of the front row for the Daytona 500. Toyota and Ford seem to be the two teams really up there in this right now. You got the Toyotas represented with Anthony McCurry and Henry Nova, and then you've also, well, you got some Dodges up there too with Joshua Michaels and Barney Ward, but the Fords are definitely the ones to beat here today. You got Sosnowski in second, Felix Graves third, Tryfon Reed fourth, William Duncan fifth, and Dylan Young in 10th. How about we actually look back at Dylan Young? See what the Blue Deuce is currently running. Whoops, I think I missed him. And I have a feeling I didn't change the name either. Nope, I didn't. That is Dylan Young, folks. I didn't change your name, Dylan. I'm sorry, I gotta go back and do that. But that is Dylan Young in the Blue Deuce, currently running right now in the 10th position. Right behind Jake Cole, and 15, that is Austin LaPlante, and he's on the inside right now of his own teammate out of Penske Germain Racing, Jeffrey Buckeye. How about a few notables? How about we check on a few notables here? How about Trent Dunham? Where's he running? Oh my goodness, 38th fastest. And we know Trent Dunham and his love for Daytona. There is none. Trent Dunham right now, not very good run at this point. Keep in mind too, a lot of these drivers may be just trying to save their equipment, just test out there, because remember, we got the Gatorade Duels coming up where they're going to, be figuring out what they're going to be able to do as far as their starting positions for the Great American Race. And I'll tell you what, two drivers just jumped into the top 10 in top 10 in the speeds, and they were both Hendrick Motorsports cars. The 88 of Cole Daly and the 48 of Matthew Rodriguez. And they're in this pack here with Sean Henley, Ralph Mason, Danny Wells, Nick Eggleston. And leading that pack is Adam Chambers. So we may see some of these drivers maybe make some kind of moves towards the front of the field. There's Noah Hart in the 47 as well. Let's see this time if the top 10 in speeds change at all. Is anybody going to get up atop of Henry Nova? Well, Sean Henley, Ralph Mason, they just moved into the top 10 in speeds. Ralph Mason 7th, Henley in 8th. But still, nobody's been able to touch that near 204 mile per hour lap put down by rookie Henry Nova. Cole Daly He's had a pretty unusual few seasons here in the NSC race. Season 3, he drove the 97 for Nemco Motorsports. Oh, no, 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 no. They're going 4 wide. Danny Wells sliding up into Daly. Oh, come on. This is a practice session. Please don't do this. No, Noah Hart trying to get ahead of it. Henley, please back out. Please, Henley. Please, please, please. Oh, 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 Danny. Oh, boy. Oh, careful bringing it back up. Careful bringing it back up. Where's Danny Wells? Where's Danny Wells? Oh, no, he just... Oh, brother. Ralph Mason's around. Matthew Rodriguez around. Danny Wells around. And somehow they're all going to be able to escape. Boy, that actually worked out a little bit better than I expected. I thought we were going to see a lot of drivers come piling in. Everybody was able to get it right and continue on. But that's a lot of drivers who had some really good cars up inside the top 10 for speeds. Cole Daly was back there. Ralph Mason was in that. As well as Danny Wells, who had just cracked the top 10 in speed charts. Matthew Rodriguez also involved. He has to head for pit road. Henley got a little piece of it. He's coming to pit road. And somebody else just jumped into the top 10 in the speed charts. Oh, man, Sean Henley's got to go to a backup car, it looks like. But Nick Eggleston, he just cracked the top 10. He's now 7th fastest, but that big pack he was running in is gone. Everybody had to come down to pit road, so now Eggleston is not going to be able to capitalize on the momentum of that fast lap to be able to try and get a faster lap this time. He's going to be running all by himself, and we know that that does not produce a whole lot of speed here at Daytona. Let's jump back up again to the guy who has not been even challenged since he laid down that lap of 203.957 miles per hour. That is Henry Nova. He and James Silverfox have actually been kind of working together here, the 18 and the 19. For the last, I'd say the last 10 minutes or so, they've really not let each other out of their sight. They've been working together and swapping back and forth, so maybe some alliance going on there, which is rather unusual between a Dodge and a Toyota. Here comes Felix Graves into the picture here, 3rd fastest on the racetrack. But right now, we're nearing 3.5 minutes to go, and Henry Nova, Kyle Sosnowski both sit in the prime 2 positions to start on the front row for the Daytona 500. Henry Nova looking to make history as the first rookie pole sitter of the Great American Race. See if we can find some more notables now. How about our former Snickers Cup Series champion from Season 1? That is Dougie Shears in the 17 out of Rush Fenwick Racing, 30th fastest on the racetrack right now. He's not really been in a big pack at all, not had that much opportunity to be able to draft with anybody. He may be able to draft with James McLeod, defending Daytona 500 winner, who's actually 37th fastest on the racetrack right now. Is he having a tough day here in that 51? Now he and Dougie Shears may be able to work together, try and produce a little bit of speed. Let's try and find some other drivers here. See if, how about Derek Reed? That new ride out of Earnhardt Ganassi Racing. Whoa, look out. They're trying to watch out for Danny Wells, Sean Henley, who have just returned to the racetrack. Dylan Pote nearly ran into his own teammate there from Tweenix. Derek Reed, currently 21st fastest on the racetrack. To his inside there is John Radigan, 21st. Actually, on the racetrack, I think he just kicked Derek Reed back to 23rd. And there is Richard Johnson, 13th fastest right now for him. Joe Gibbs Racing doing pretty good today. 31st fastest right now for Dylan Poteet, and rookie Stephen Pollard III just ahead of him there. Single car race team for Phil Parsons Racing, 26th. See Galligan there. We know that, whoa, actually, Galligan's fallen outside the top 10. He's 13th fastest. Actually, another driver's just moved himself into, or herself, I should say, into the top 10 for speeds. And that is Mary Cole in the 4. Wow, nice big pack here. Barney Ward's in that. Tim Walsh, McCurry, Hayden Climass, and Sieber, and Kyle Sosnowski. We could see something happen here in this group with only a minute and a half to go. Let's see. Anybody up there on the top of the speed charts? Not just yet. But this is a good pack of cars. If they don't get slowed up and have their momentum killed, somebody could challenge Henry Nova for that pole position. Gotta follow this pack here, as they've only got about a minute left to go. I think they can make it around to the start-finish line in 1 minute. This could be the last opportunity for any drivers to make their way into the Daytona 500 as the pole sitter. And one of those drivers is the guy that won Sprint Unlimited, Kyle Sosnowski, but they got the 9-car Drew Austin ahead. It's going to kill their momentum. Oh, that's a shame. I don't think they're going to be able to continue it. Oh, maybe. Let's see. No, nobody changed inside of the top 10 for the speed charts there, and there's only 30 seconds left, which means I'm pretty certain this practice session is going to end with rookie Henry Nova as the pole sitter for the Daytona 500 here today, and he just ran the 200s again right there. See what he'll turn this time. Still in the 200s, 200.111. 10 seconds remaining, no doubt about it. I think it's pretty much written in the books. Oh, wow, Dylan Pote just jumped up to third. How did that happen? But practice session, I believe, is going to be over. Pote really made a big run there at the end for starting on the front row, and he's going to come up just short. Sosnowski had a 203.703. Dylan Pote a 203.583. Just 0.2 slower than Kyle Sosnowski for him to be able to start on the outside of the front row for the Daytona 500. That's a tough break for Pote, but Pote's going to end up starting off on the outside of the front row for Gatorade Duel number 1, if indeed that's how this is going to end. 5 seconds remain. Let's see if they're going to call practice now after this. Is practice session complete? It is complete, and Henry Nova is officially going to be the first rookie, I believe, to start on the pole for the Daytona 500. Outside of the front row for the Great American Race is going to be our Sprint Unlimited race winner, Kyle Sosnowski, in the 22. Those two are insured starting on the front row for the Daytona 500. The rest of these drivers are going to end up having to figure out where they're going to start based on our Gatorade duels. As we are going to show you now what the practice session looked like.
Drivers, to your car.
So in Gatorade Duel number 1, the drivers that will be there are going to be Henry Nova. He'll be on the pole there, basically just try and survive so he doesn't have to go to the rear of the field for the 500 in a backup car. Pote will also be in it, as he was 3rd fastest. Barney Ward was 5th fastest. Cole Daly 7th. Ralph Mason in 9th, and Mary Cole was 11th. Danny Wells was 13th fastest. Galligan 15th. 17th was Richard Johnson. 19th was Traven Reed. Noah Hart 21st. William Duncan 23rd. John Radigan 25th. Derek Reed was 27th. Lots of my mouse here. There it is. 29th fastest was Alan Tanker. Hayden Klein 31st. Jake Cole 33rd. Dougie Shears 35th. Jeffrey Buckeye 37th. Carson Gum 39th. And James Silverfox was 41st fastest. Now the drivers that will be in Gatorade Duel number 2. Kyle Sosnowski will start on the pole for that Gatorade Duel, alongside of Felix Graves, who finished 4th. McCurry was 6th. Eggleston was in 8th. Sean Henley was 10th. 12th was Stephen Pollard III. 14th, Matthew Rodriguez. 16th was the defending champ, John Citadino. He really picked it up at the end. Madison Siever, 18th. Joshua Michaels, 20th. 22nd was Adam Chambers. Charles Jackson was 24th. Dylan Young, that says Brad Keselowski, but it's Dylan Young, was 26th. Michael Norman, 28th. 30th place was Austin LaPlante. 32nd was Emilio Navarrete. Tim Walsh, 34th. Drew Austin, 36th. Trent Dunham, 38th. James McLeod, the 500 winner from Season 5, 40th fastest today. And Aaron Williams Jr., the fastest car in the Sprint Unlimited practice, and the first car to go on to the racetrack today, was the slowest car in 42nd position, running at 200.902. So if that's the case, just think of how fast these cars were that beat him. I mean, good grief. Nothing to sneer about with a lap time over 200 miles an hour. So Aaron Williams Jr. just not able to get out there with cars, I guess, and be able to draft to get himself a really good lap time. So we'll see what these drivers are going to be able to do in the Gatorade Duels. Duels 1 and 2, they'll be the next on the agenda to be able to set the rest of the Daytona 500. We already know the front row is going to be rookie Henry Nova on the pole, and the Sprint Unlimited winner Kyle Sosnowski on the outside of the front row. Both those drivers are going to have to hope they can survive their Gatorade Duels and not have to go to backup cars. Hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe, become part of the crew today. We'll see you guys next time for the Gatorade Duels from Daytona. as you've been watching a production of the N3 Offline Racing at its best. Goodbye from me, as I am 22 years old. Bye.